Hello, my name is Jack Perrin and I'm the director of Gorge Makerspace. A makerspace is a place where people can get the instruction and tools to build cool things like this. I'm here today with my daughter Sylvia. What is it that we're building?
We're gonna make a planter box, and you could use it for like flowers outside your bedroom window, or like rosemary or other herbs outside your kitchen window.
Great, should we get started?
Sure.
This project is a collaboration between Gorge Makerspace and the Columbia Center for the Arts.
It was made possible with a grant from Tri-County Hazardous Waste and Recycling.
So what I always tell my students is you can use any tool as long as you've been trained on that tool. So Sylvia and I both have received training on how to use these tools. We've been checked off. If you are new to a tool, if you're using a saw for the first time, make sure you learn how to use it first before you cut the wood.
Okay, so in this project, we're gonna be using 2 drills with different drill bits. And these are cordless drills. And again, me and my dad have both been trained on these. This one is for putting screws in, and this one is for making the holes that the screws will go in.
Great, and why don't I just mention a little bit, this is an unusual drill bit. It has a countersink on it. This is something that's really helpful to have. It keeps the wood from splitting when you drive the screws in. The hole that is going to be made will allow that head to sit into the wood without splitting the wood. I don't expect everybody to have one of those, so you can also make do with just a larger drill bit. You can use this to make countersink holes. This drill bit would only be used for the very top of your screw. So you only drive this in, you only drill this in just maybe 1/4 of an inch. It's just to allow the head on this screw to sit into the wood.
Okay, so the first step to making our planter box is going to be to get the wood.
So this wood we got from the Rebuild It Center. This is recycled wood. It's really pretty, it's aged, and it's also getting a second life by being used for this project. All right, so we've cut our wood. It's time to put it together. We'll start with a bottom and a side piece. So if you could hold that up like that. Oh, it looks like we have a little hole in this piece from a knot. That's good, it's gonna be in the bottom. It'll provide some drainage. So I'm gonna hold this on here. And Sylvia's going to help me. I think I'll start by making the holes, and then you can put the screws in.
And so we're going to use 2 drill bits here, and this one is for, it's called a driver bit, and it puts the screws in, and this one will make the hole.
So we're using a drill that has a countersink on it. You can also use a larger drill bit for that same purpose. So I'm going to come 1 inch from the edge, and then left and right from this edge, from the long edge of the board, I want to go right down into the middle of the board underneath it. And that's about 3/8 of an inch from the edge. Okay. The screws that we're using we got from the Rebuild It Center, so they're recycled. They're zinc coated, so they'll do really well in the weather. And then these are Phillips head. You do want them to be either a Phillips head or any other style that allows for a driver bit to go into it. And Sylvia, what's the most common mistake people make with a drill?
Sometimes it's in reverse. So you always want to check and make sure that your drill is going the way you want it to.
Great. And we'll do one more to keep this from changing position. Okay, so I'm 1 inch from the edge, from the end of my board, and 3/8 of an inch from the edge of it, trying to hit the board below, right in the middle. Excellent. Should we continue? Put the side on? Okay, let's put the other side on this. Same process. next we'll put the ends on. And I'm going to have to flex these pieces just a little bit, so we'll start in this upper corner with a hole. I come down an inch, and then I'm down 1 inch, and I'm over 3/8 of an inch. Can you get that? You hold on to the back of the board because it's going to slide, and I'll push on this while you drill. So this is a little bit awkward positioning for both Sylvia and I, but we're doing it this way so it's easier to be filmed. You could stand this up on end and put your weight over the drill as you put the screw in. If you can use gravity to help you, that makes it a little easier. Oh yeah, and this one we're gonna put the screw in and then we're gonna squeeze it just like that. So right here, it's not flush. That's because the wood is just slightly warped. Before that screw goes all the way through, I'm just going to bring it flush. And then I'm going to need some help from Sylvia because one of us will have to hold that board from, squeeze it out just a little bit. So I'm just going to change places with you here if you don't mind. And I'll hold it while you screw that in. Take your other hand. There you go. Just push on that. Nice, you got it. What we have here are 5 pieces. We have a bottom, we have our 2 sides, and then 2 end pieces, which we cut previously. And now we're going to assemble this last piece. Again, let's go up higher so I can put a little bit of weight into this drill while I screw this hole. And then let's switch places, and I'll have you put that screw in where you are. Helps to put a little bit of weight on the back of that. You know, she's pushing on the back of the drill. That helps a lot. Let's put one more in just so it doesn't move anymore. And again, I'm going 1 inch up from the bottom of the board and 3/8 of an inch in from the side. And why don't I just show you how much easier it is to drill from above. If you're taller, if you stand on a stool, drilling from above, you get to use gravity. It just makes it a little bit easier to drive those screws in.
So here we have the finished box and we're almost done. We just need to put the trim on it.
So to put our finished pieces of trim on, we'll use again some more recycled wood, and these will be cut to length, and we'll put a 45-degree angle on this, just the ends here for looks, and they will be attached to the top of this and the sides. You can see there's trim both on the sides and the top. And to nail this on, I used a small finish nail. The classification is a 4D finish nail, and I put only as many, I put the minimum number of nails in. So I have 2 on the sides, I have 8 across the front, and then 2 on this side. And these pieces again, just the minimal amount. I have 2 nails here. Looks like I have 6 across the front. Spacing your screws is not an exact science. I usually put my screws anywhere from 4 to 6 inches apart. However they end up spacing will be fine. There's no right or wrong to it. I believe there are, you can't see it, but there are 2 screws behind the trim on each side. And I would have done the same on this side. There would have been a couple of screws going into my end pieces, and then probably 6 or so across the front. I chose to put 6 screws in there. Really, it was just a gut feeling. Could have been 4 or could have been 8. Don't overdo it, and don't waste materials. Just put as many on as you feel is necessary to hold this together. There's not a piece of trim on this back piece. This will be up against your house, so there's no need for there to be any finished trim there. By the time the plants grow, this will all be covered. So we're not putting any trim on this piece.
Well, we might use this box for our kitchen, or we might put it outside our bedroom.
I think we should plant some herbs in it, because you make a killer pizza, and we could put some basil and some oregano in it. Where should we get the soil for this?
Oh, I don't know.
How about we get it at Dirt Huggers? Yeah, or we can get it out of our backyard and add some fertilizer and compost to it. So Sylvia, how's the water going to get out of this?
Well, hopefully it'll drain naturally, but if you feel like you want to be a little bit extra cautious, you can put some holes in the bottom and just drill those in.
Great, let's do that. Let's be on the safe side. Should we paint these or should we decorate it? You have any ideas?
I think it looks pretty good how it is, but we could also use like some recycled like
Knickknacks.
bottle caps or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah, we could go to the Rebuild It Center and see what they have and maybe just add some decorations.
Yeah.
Some broken tile or some bottle caps like you said. Maybe they have leftover paint too, we could paint it. Thanks for joining us today. Go out and make a birdhouse and
Reduce, reuse, recycle.